Maggie Gyllenhaal has done it all. The Broadway stage, the big screen, the small one too. Tony Dokoupil tells us Gyllenhaal is also checking out The View from behind the camera.
What do you like over here?
I think I'm actually going to come and see that.
Yeah.
Wild at Heart. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is more than your typical movie buff.
We watched 24 movies in less than 2 weeks.
Wow.
And not only because you probably know her as an actress.
I have never had a job before. But I can assure you that I am very excited about this opportunity.
In blockbusters like The Dark Knight.
Well, you look nervous. Is it the scars?
Bingeable TV shows like The Deuce.
Look at you.
Look at us.
Who would have thought, right? That's right.
And a long list of bold, even gritty roles, including an Academy Award-nominated performance in Crazy Heart.
Everything is not okay. He's 4 years old. He's scared half to death.
No, I wouldn't do anything to hurt
Well,
that
you
boy.
did do something to hurt him. Just you and every other man in my life.
She also happens to be part of a mini Hollywood dynasty, the daughter of director Stephen Gyllenhaal and screenwriter Naomi Foner, not to mention big sister to Jake. But what really sets Gyllenhaal apart as a cinephile is that after all these years in and around the movies,
No, I didn't steal from the government. I just didn't pay you entirely.
her love for them is still growing.
I want to see movies more now than I ever wanted to see movies before. I've seen like almost every movie that's out this year.
That now includes her own movie, The Lost Daughter. Gyllenhaal's first as a screenwriter and as a director.
Miss Caruso, welcome.
Thank you.
It's out in theaters and streaming on Netflix later this month after what Gyllenhaal says was an exciting, if also excruciating, premiere overseas.
I felt like I was giving birth or something, really.
So you've been there as an actor,
No.
seeing a film for the first time?
Oh, at the Venice
Or
Film
at any
Festival,
place.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
for an actor, it's a moment to see what the
Yeah,
director
it's
has
like
cut
way
together.
more intense as a director. Like, 100,000 times more intense.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because this movie is everything I meant for it to be. It's all my offering. Like, I have to stand behind all of it.
And what a lot of it there is. The film is a psychological thriller and drama, the story of a woman who does something almost unimaginable, amid all too real flashbacks to her life as a young parent.
Just gonna close my eyes for a few seconds, baby, okay?
I
Every
can't
one
tell
of
you
those
how many
moments.
people have been like, I shouldn't say this, but I have fallen asleep on the floor while I was taking care of my kids. So many people have said that to me, and like that. Like it's like a dirty, terrible secret.
Secrets, or at least things left unsaid, are a big part of what drew Gyllenhaal to the project, which is based on a novel by Elena Ferrante, the mega best-selling Italian writer known only by her pen name.
People have spent a lot of time and energy trying to figure out who she is, not me. I'm like, she has to be anonymous. Let her be anonymous, you know?
Okay.
I've never spoken to her, I've never met her. All of my interaction with her has been through email. And there's something amazing about her being anonymous because she's been so supportive.
In fact, after Gyllenhaal wrote a long letter to Ferrante requesting rights to her story, Ferrante agreed on one condition.
She wrote me back and she said, yes, you can have the rights, but the contract is void unless you direct it.
She also offered Gyllenhaal an unexpected gift.
She said she thinks it's really important that the movie be good. And she knows it will only be good if I make it mine. And so she wanted to offer me freedom.
Ferrante has since said of the finished movie, I like the whole film, calling it true cinema.
Stop it. Enough. Stop. Enough. Stop acting like this. Let me
One of the book's big truths, now brought to the screen by Gyllenhaal, is that motherhood, even when it's a choice and a joy, is not always a pleasure.
Sometimes you just can't handle it.
I know.
How to say it delicately.
Yeah, but it's funny, like you have to say it delicately. It's very complicated. And what I think is that it's just that the spectrum of feelings about it are huge. And somehow our culture says if you feel ambivalent or terrified or all these dark things included in all the light ones, that somehow there's something wrong with you or that it's abnormal.
Gyllenhaal grew up in Southern California, but she was born in New York, and she's raising 2 daughters of her own here with husband and fellow actor Peter Sarsgaard.
How old are your kids now?
15 and 9.
So you're kind of out of the worst of it in terms of the most intensive, they need you all the time.
I think so. I think so. I don't think I could have made this movie with toddlers, but I was certainly thinking about it with toddlers.
After nearly 3 decades on screen, Gyllenhaal is also realizing she has a whole new kind of career ahead of her.
There are a lot of people that don't like actors with ideas. I think that I just got tired of that. It takes a lot of energy. I think probably looking back on it now that I have directed this film, which I love, I think probably I was always a director. And I just didn't feel entitled to even know that I wanted that.
Your name, Leda, is very provocative.
You're thinking about the Yates.
The Lost Daughter is already an award winner, taking, among other honors, Best Screenplay at the Venice Film Festival. And the 44-year-old Gyllenhaal says beyond the movie's ensemble of stars, which includes her husband, she sees a simple reason for the film's success.
You know, sometimes when you tell the truth about something that nobody's been talking about, I think it can feel really invigorating and exciting and good, you know, like almost like an electric shock through you.
Yeah.
To hear the truth spoken out loud. You're like, oh, I agree, you know.
And just in case you're wondering, there's a lot more to the movie than motherhood. Just like there's a lot more to being a woman that rarely makes it into movies. And that, above all else, is what Maggie Gyllenhaal, the director, is most excited to change.
I'm just trying to be honest. That's really all I'm doing. Because for so much of my life, I saw my experience portrayed in ways that weren't totally honest. And I wondered, is there like something wrong with me? Because this whole other, like the edges of my experience, the nooks and crannies of my experience, I rarely see. Yeah. And I think we can get confused if we don't see reflections of our experience portrayed back at us.
So here's the world's most obvious question. Are you going to do it again?
Yes, 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 totally, yes.